Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start episode 682 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Chapter 1188, but I bet right. Very soon, the army assembled. Chen Yuan took the lead, standing at the very front of the formation. The massive force advanced, getting closer and closer to the star-devouring beast tide. 50 kilometers, 30 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Roar, roar, roar. At that moment, earth-shaking bellows rolled toward them. A surging mass of black-armored, star-devouring beasts swept in like a black tide toward the Holy Sun's army. The atmosphere was so oppressive it was suffocating. Every prodigious Holy Sun felt a shadow press upon their hearts. Faced with such a raging beast tide, could they really win? Should they crush their inheritance Holy Sun tokens right now and bail? Quite a few already had that thought. At that moment, Chen Yuan, leader of the Tree-Cutting Alliance, did not let anyone protect him. He charged forward alone, carrying the momentum of, even if a million stand in my way, I go, rushing straight into the endless beast tide. System, unlock the Qian Yuan sword. Ding. Qian Yuan sword unlocked successfully. 500 enhancement points deducted. Remaining enhancement points, 19,200. The instant the god weapon of a level 6 civilization was unlocked, a supreme and unmatched sword will explode it out. Behind Chen Yuan, an imposing imperial shadow seemed to form, suppressing heaven and earth with a single strike, splitting the starry river in two. Perish! Chen Yuan swung his sword. The sword intent of the galaxy erupted. A terrifying sword light 10,000 meters long swept forward like an unstoppable force, cutting through countless black-armored, star-devouring beasts like harvesting wheat. They fell in heaps, torn into countless mangled remains. With a single strike, thousands of star-devouring beasts were cleaved in half. With the space laws within reach, worlds apart, locking them in place. There was no avoiding the damage. The might of that one sword, truly terrifying. This is the leader's strength? With one sword, he killed 2,000 star-devouring beasts. And these are galaxy-level monsters with incredible defense, yet he slaughters them like pigs and dogs. Brothers, who will fight with me? With Chen Yuan leading, the beast tide is nothing. Charge. Kill. 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 Any who block us die. Boom. 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 Inspired by Chen Yuan's invincible courage, the 300,000 troops were thrown into a collective frenzy. Not a single Holy Sun thought they could lose this fight anymore. Their momentum soared. A peerless battle erupted instantly. Chen Yuan rushed at the front, frowning as the beast tide surged endlessly toward him. Damn it! Faulty intel. This beast tide isn't just 10,000 strong. It's at least 100,000. Crap. But now the beast tide and the Holy Sun's army had already clashed completely. There was no stopping. They could only grit their teeth and fight it out. Chen Yuan had 10 minutes of extreme battle time. If they couldn't win by then, he would simply use his spatial skill to instantly escape. He wasn't nervous at all. Mere star-devouring beasts dare to run wild before me? Wherever my army passes, not even grass remains. Brothers, the Tree-Cutting Alliance is invincible. Kill! Chen Yuan roared. Kill! 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 The leader is invincible. The alliance is invincible. Form up. The squad leaders began directing their teams, forming group attack formations. Some Holy Suns excelled at group attacks, some at single-target strikes. Some specialized in control, though their damage was low. Others excelled in defense, able to take hits. The squad leaders arranged battle formations according to each person's specialty, and the combined effect was greater than the sum of its parts. Normally, a single star-devouring beast could match 10 first-stage galaxy-level warriors. 100,000 beasts meant the strength of 1,000,000 such warriors. Yet over 90% of their own forces were only at star-level tier 10, a huge gap in strength. But right now, the Holy Suns had the absolute upper hand, nearly suppressing the beast tide completely. Seeing they could not gain the advantage, the beasts began to break and flee. The Tree-Cutting Alliance troops grew fiercer in pursuit. We are invincible. The tide is breaking. Kill them. Filthy beasts, where do you think you're running? Chen Yuan looked at these incredibly ferocious holy sons and was almost stunned. That's 100,000 star-devouring beasts. You guys are too savage. The battle lasted 8 full hours. From two armies clashing to a one-sided hunt. The beast tide collapsed entirely. Pursued for 3,000 li. Finally, the result came in from the Netherworld Holy Sun. They had slain over 80,000 beasts. Alliance casualties, 9,000. One-third of those died without time to crush their tokens. The rest teleported away safely. About 10,000 more were injured. But nothing a Holy Sun's regenerative abilities couldn't fix. Seeing the results, the entire army was stunned. We actually killed 80,000 star-devouring beasts. Did we really do this? If I had known there were 100,000, you couldn't pay me to charge in. We all fought way beyond our limits this time. The leader really is a military genius. Under his command, we can't lose. Long live Leader Chen Yuan. Long live the Alliance. Bro, are you cursing him? He's a peerless prodigy, future ruler of the universe. He could live tens of millions, even hundreds of millions of years. You trying to wish him dead early. Slip of the tongue. Slip of the tongue. The Alliance's cohesion strengthened through this battle. Only by fighting side by side could such bonds be forged so quickly. Chen Yuan's prestige reached an unparalleled height. In truth, he'd been planning to flee. Who knew his little brothers would be this fierce? Leader, a brother just reported, deep in the beast's lair. They found a fixed space portal. It seems to lead to the second Holy Land. At that, the entire crowd fell silent. A fixed space portal. Does that mean all of us can enter the second Holy Land? Looks like it. So defeating the beast tide came with this kind of reward. Boss, did you already know? Is that why you boldly declared our whole alliance would enter the second Holy Land? The Netherworld Holy Sun looked at him with utter worship, completely convinced. Chapter 1189, then I'll just admit it. At this moment, the Sacred Sun tokens in everyone's hands lit up again. Ding! Congratulations to Gu Yuezi for successfully entering the 5th layer of the Inheritance Holy Land. Ding! Congratulations to Nirvana Holy Sun for successfully entering the 5th layer of the Holy Land. Ding! Congratulations to Tian Holy Sun for successfully entering the 5th layer of the Holy Land. Current number of inheritors in each layer. First layer, 892.99 trillion. Second layer, 10 billion. Third layer, 6.86 million. Fourth layer, 1,986. Fifth layer, 3. Damn, there are already monsters who've broken into the 5th layer? It's been less than a month. From the 4th layer onward, the law of time takes effect. Time flows 10 times slower. So, on the surface, it looks like these top geniuses entered the 5th layer in just over 10 days. But in reality, they spent over 100 days inside. Over 10 billion inheritors have already reached the 2nd layer. Looks like we've wasted quite a bit of time. But we've opened a fixed teleportation channel, something no other Sacred Sun has. With this channel, we can recruit far more members, maybe even sell slots to enter the 2nd layer. We could make an absolute fortune. Our organization can't disband. But that means some alliance members will have to sacrifice their own chance to enter the 2nd layer and instead guard the fixed entrance to keep recruiting new people. I suggest we give 50% of the profits from selling these entry slots as subsidies to those who stay behind. I agree. And the guards can be rotated. For example, guard for a year, then get your turn to enter the 2nd layer. Let's give all sales revenue to the brothers who volunteer to stay. They've earned it. Chen Yuan spoke calmly. Yes, that's what they deserve. From cleaning up the battlefield, Chen Yuan had collected over 10,000 Star Eater beast cores. He also had a mountain of scale armor beast hides. His 10 storage rings, each 100 million square meters, were already nearly full. If he'd known earlier, he wouldn't have stored so much Star Tong wood. But throwing it away would have been a waste. Once Chen Yuan said this, the various squad captains all suddenly realized something. Leader, you're wise. We really shouldn't be focused on the 1st layer. With the strength of our tree-cutting alliance, we can definitely keep pushing through the 2nd layer and bring in even more powerful members. Soon, news of the fixed teleportation channel spread at an unbelievable speed. In no time, the 300,000-strong army was shaken to the core. Everyone was thrilled. They all knew. If not for Chen Yuan ordering the beast-tide attack, the fixed entrance to the second layer never would have been found. These star level 10 inheritors would normally have no chance of entering the second layer, unless they paid a fortune. Last time I bid for a second layer slot, I offered 80 million Star River coins and still ranked 11th. I failed. But this time, I get in without spending a single cent total profit. Thinking of those spoiled brats showing off before, I can't stop laughing. So what if they entered earlier? They spent so much money, and they're not even that far ahead of us. Following leader Chen Yuan into battle to the end. That's how you get the most benefits. Leader is the top sacred son of a level 7 civilization, a peerless genius. His strength and wisdom both earn my heartfelt respect. Before, I didn't understand why leader was crazily cutting down trees everywhere. Now it's like cold water on my head, eye-opening and thunderous. Every detail was part of a grand plan. The geniuses whispered among themselves. Some of them may have been unconvinced before, questioning why Chen Yuan was the leader of a 300,000-strong army. Now, all of them were genuinely convinced. A true alliance leader needs not only unmatched strength, but also foresight, wisdom, and strategies that can lead everyone to greatness. And Chen Yuan had all of those, plus he always fought on the front lines himself. A leader like that deserved the loyalty of every sacred son in the alliance. Chen Yuan himself hadn't planned any of this. It was pure coincidence. He just wanted a bunch of free laborers to cut trees, hunt beasts for cores, and maybe find some treasures. Who knew that in the end, they'd stumble upon a fixed teleportation channel? Well, if you all think I'm wise, godlike, and full of strategy, fine. I'll admit it. That's exactly what I'm like. Always happy to help others and support the weak. Time flew. Another day passed. After alliance discussions and voluntary sign-ups, 10,000 troops stayed behind to guard the fixed entrance. The remaining 380,000 troops followed Chen Yuan in a mighty march toward the second layer's passage. Yes, 380,000. After news of the teleportation channel spread, in just one day, the tree-cutting alliance gained 90,000 new members. Without even trying, the tree-cutting alliance's reputation had spread across the entire Inheritance Holy Land. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.